Let's talk about one of the biggest puzzles in leadership. Have you ever wondered why the exact same decision can launch one team into the stratosphere and completely torpedo another? We're going to dive into this, and trust me, the answer is not what you think.
Yeah, that's the big question, right? It's this mystery that unfolds in offices, in boardrooms, all over the world every single day. A leader makes a call, one they genuinely think is the right move, and the results are just a total coin toss. One team pulls together, the other one falls apart. Why? Okay, let's get real for a second. Picture this. The company's had a rough quarter. To avoid layoffs, management decides on a week of mandatory unpaid leave. In Company A, the team rallies. They see it as, hey, we're all in this together, a shared sacrifice. But in Company B, the top people are polishing their resumes that night. They see it as a penalty, a sign the ship is sinking. Same action, completely different worlds. So here's the big reveal. The problem isn't the decision. It's not about the unpaid leave. The real answer is buried in this invisible operating system that's running in the background of every single team, this hidden code of their shared values. So how do we even begin to crack this code? Well, we can use this incredible framework called spiral dynamics. The simplest way to think about it is like a map for human values. It shows how we evolve, how our worldviews shift, and it uses a simple color-coded system to make sense of it all.
All right, so here's a super quick rundown of the colors we're going to be talking about. You've got purple, which is all about the tribe, safety, tradition. Red is driven by raw power and dominance. Blue is all about order, rules, and a higher purpose. Then there's orange, focused on achievement, strategy, and winning. And green, which really prioritizes community, harmony, and empathy. The thing to remember is, each color sees the world in a fundamentally different way.
Now, how do we spot these value systems out in the wild? Well, our first clue comes from a pretty unexpected place, the Oxford Happiness Survey. Researchers asked thousands and thousands of people to agree or disagree with a simple statement: I do not find it easy to make decisions. And their answers, well, they pointed to a fascinating link with one of these value systems. Any guesses?
The data was crystal clear. There was a statistically significant link between people who agreed with that statement and the purple, or tribal, value system. The correlation was positive 0.0497. Now that number might not look huge, but in a study this massive, a signal like that is basically a giant flashing neon sign, pointing to something much, much deeper.
Now, your first instinct might be to just label this as, oh, okay, so tribal-minded people are just indecisive. But that's just scratching the surface. That number isn't about a personal flaw, it's about a completely different philosophy of how decisions get made in the first place. And this right here is the big reframe. What looks to us like individual indecisiveness is actually, when you look through that purple code, collective deliberation. See, for a tribal mindset, taking a long time to decide isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's the whole point. It's about making sure the choice is right for everyone.
And this isn't just some abstract theory. Look at how this plays out in the real world. For the Sandbushmen, a big decision can't happen without days of conversation until every single person is on board. Among the Haudenosaunee, the clan mothers can literally fire a chief if his decisions put the community at risk. It's a group process. A decision isn't just an action, it's a ritual that reaffirms you belong to the tribe.
Okay, and it gets even more interesting when we bring another color into the mix. The green value system also finds decisions difficult. In fact, the correlation is even stronger. But, and this is the crucial part, the reason is totally different. For purple, it's about systemic responsibility, protecting the entire tribe. For green, it's about relational care, making sure no one's feelings get hurt. See? Same behavior, completely different hidden code driving it.
So what? Okay, so what if a statement about difficulty with decisions is really about collective values? How does that actually help a leader? Well, it's the key. It allows us to take this soft, fuzzy cultural stuff and turn it into a hard, predictive tool. This insight lets us build a predictive engine for leadership. Think of it like a cultural GPS for your team. You can type in the decision you're thinking about making, and it can show you the likely psychological and emotional impact it'll have on your specific team. It's like seeing into the future.
So here's how it would work in our scenario. First, you plug the action into the model, announce unpaid leave. The engine looks at your team's profile and sees, hey, they're high in purple values. It then applies our correlation, understanding that for this group, a shared hardship is seen as a protective ritual, not a punishment. And so, the predicted outcome? The team will probably bond over it and accept the decision.
And boom, this chart solves our entire mystery from the beginning. Look at this. The model predicts a positive reaction from the purple team. But for the orange, achievement-focused team, the impact is negative. They just see it as inefficient, a sign of failure. And the green team? They also have a positive reaction, but for their own reason. They're willing to sacrifice to save their colleagues' jobs. Same decision, 3 totally different outcomes. All predictable.
So there you have it. The action itself is basically neutral. It's the hidden value code of the team that filters it and gives it meaning. And that's why you get such wildly different results. What this all means is that we can finally stop guessing. We can take something that has always felt soft and unmeasurable, like company culture or team values, and turn it into a hard variable that actually helps us predict what's going to happen. We can make the invisible visible.
So I'll leave you with this thought. And this isn't just about managing a company, right? This is about understanding any group of people, a family, a community, anyone. If you could really, truly see the hidden code that's driving their behavior, what would you do differently?